Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Philip, and in this video we're taking a look at organizing what I call an octopus production chain, where you might have various resources coming from different directions, such as in a spectacle production chain, where you might have copper from one island and you have zinc in another corner. I know some of you might be asking, okay Philip, what's that weird looking symbol right here, and why do you have a random train track right in the middle of seemingly nowhere? I will answer all of that. There's a reason for everything, so sit tight. Everything mid to late game becomes somewhat of a mumble jumble spaghetti mess, so it's really nice to be able to have a method to organize your production chains. Let's first start with the spectacle production chain that we have right here. I like to group the buildings in one particular section if I can. It makes it easier to organize and visually see everything. You'll notice that there is a line connecting here. And that's a way to visually see that this particular sand mine, if I follow this line here, it belongs in this particular production chain. We have the zinc right here in this corner. And as for the copper, since we have no copper on this island, I have to transport it from a different island. Hence, the reason why I use this symbol here. This symbol here stands for copper, the letter C. And this little symbol shows that it's coming from the west hand side island. That copper is being transported to this production chain here. And you might be thinking that this symbol here is kind of ugly and that these lines kind of mess up the visual aesthetics of the island. And this island is not my pretty island, it's more for a production island where I focus not on the aesthetics but more on the practicality and more on how everything is organized, so we can take a look at it quickly and recognize where all the chains belong. You can always have a separate beautiful island where you have the most attractive things, zoos and everything else to make the city more attractive for tourism. In regards to this train track here, I put that there just to show you that you don't have to actually use this little line here. You can use train tracks if you want. You can use trees if you wanted to. Anything to give you a better visual representation of which pieces connect to which particular chain. For this little line, you can find it in might be an artisan group. Yeah, artisan group here, straight path, and just lead a path. And if you have a ton of resources, you might as well use train tracks. And in addition to that, the train tracks serve as a temporary placeholder for if you want to in the future expand and include electricity somewhere in the middle here, so that all of your buildings have access to electrical power, which increases their productivity. Grouping buildings like this is still a viable option, especially when you don't have access to electricity yet, but eventually you can always make adjustments and add more buildings around your power plant. And to continue on talking about the production chains here, we have the glass, which is one here, and we have two of the brass here. I separate them to make them a little bit farther apart, so in case they blow up or get on fire, it doesn't affect the other building. Although it's probably better if you separate even more spaces, maybe 2 or 3 spaces. But I haven't had too many issues with things blowing up. It says here the low chance of explosion, so it's not too bad. But feel free to make adjustments to increase the distance between different buildings. Just don't put them next to each other. And then finally we have the spectacle factory, which has 3 in here. I also have another spectacle production chain on a different island. In this one we happen to have zinc in this area, and then we also have copper, which is in this area. So the question that you might be asking is, why don't I put this production chain closer to this copper mine, or why don't I put here this chain closer to this little zinc mine? You are free to put it anywhere you want. I had 3 choices to make: here, here, or here. I just chose it here because I like being closer to the cliff, and this sand mine happens to be closer to the cliff, and to utilize more space efficiently, you could put it here or there. It just depends on how you plan to have your layouts. That's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts, what you like about it, what you don't like, what you would improve. And I look forward to hearing your comments. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next time in my future videos. Take care.